It started with a leak so personal, so explosive, so wildly unexpected that even longtime TPUSA insiders said they'd never seen anything like it. Late last night, while most of the conservative world slept peacefully, an anonymous whistleblower dropped a private folder containing screenshots, voice notes, hotel logs, and messages tied directly to Erika Kirk's private life. And within minutes, the entire TPUSA ecosystem went into meltdown. This wasn't political drama. This wasn't a policy disagreement. This wasn't a donor dispute. This was personal, and it was nuclear. According to the insiders who confirmed the leak's authenticity, these files weren't meant to be public. They weren't even meant to exist. They were collected quietly over months by someone who had direct access to Erika's inner circle, someone who said they were done covering for her. And the information they revealed didn't just expose Erika's personal habits, private conversations, or secret relationships. They exposed exactly how her private life has been bleeding into TPUSA's internal chaos. The first file alone made thousands gasp. A voice note where Erika can be heard discussing who she trusts, who she fears, and who she keeps close so they don't betray her. And the part that shook the entire internet? When she whispered, "Half of them would bury me if they knew the truth." Immediately, everyone began asking the same question. What truth? What has she been hiding? And why did an insider risk everything to expose her now? Because the leaks didn't stop at personal messages. They hinted at favoritism, secret alliances, late-night meetings, internal conflicts she never wanted revealed, and most dangerously, how her private life may have directly affected major TPUSA decisions behind closed doors. But the most shocking files haven't even leaked publicly yet, and in the next section, you're going to find out exactly why this insider wanted Erika's entire world exposed. What people see publicly is the polished version of Erika Kirk, the friendly conference host, the clean-cut activist wife, the curated Instagram mother, the perfect partner standing next to Charlie at every Turning Point USA gala, fundraiser, and leadership summit. But ask anyone who worked near TPUSA's core, and they'll tell you the same chilling truth. The Erika you see on stage is not the Erika behind closed doors. For years, rumors quietly swirled within TPUSA's internal circles. Whispers about how Erika controlled narratives, how she dictated who could speak to Charlie, how she allegedly monitored staff, blocked communication, and maintained a level of influence that didn't match her official position. Some staffers described her as protective. Others said paranoid. A few, speaking anonymously, said calculating. But none of these whispers ever reached the public until now. Because, according to the insider who leaked her files, Erika's private life wasn't just complicated. It was actively reshaping TPUSA decisions, friendships, and conflicts behind the scenes. To understand the chaos exploding today, we need to go back to the months before Charlie's death, a period many staffers now refer to as the uneasy season. Behind the scenes, tensions were rising, but no one knew why. Charlie became distant. Key staffers complained that meetings felt off. Donor relations became unusually tense. And anytime someone tried to schedule time with Charlie alone, they'd often be told, "He's unavailable. Erika needs him today." But here's the part that insiders kept to themselves until now. Erika allegedly had a list, a handwritten list, according to one former staffer, of people she didn't trust, people she didn't want around Charlie, people she believed had ulterior motives. And when someone made it onto that list, they suddenly found themselves removed from projects, excluded from events, or quietly shifted to less visible roles. This wasn't a coincidence. This was control. And while some dismissed it as protective behavior, others insisted Erika was doing something far more strategic, reshaping TPUSA's inner power structure to benefit herself. It begins with the story of the Core 5. Inside TPUSA's headquarters, there were 5 influential people known to have unmatched access to Charlie, the people who shaped decisions, strategy, and narrative behind the scenes. But over the course of 1 year, every single one of those 5 slowly drifted, resigned, or asked for reassignment. At first, it seemed like normal turnover, but the leak revealed a private message from one of the Core 5, saying, "She's isolating him. I don't know why yet, but this isn't normal." Another message from a former staffer said, "We can't get anything done without her. She answers for him now." This shift didn't go unnoticed. Not by staff, not by donors, and definitely not by Candace Owens. According to the insider who leaked Erika's private files, Candace confronted Erika privately months ago, questioning why she had so much control and why she interfered with staff communication. That confrontation allegedly turned heated, and a secret audio clip captured Erika saying, "People around him don't understand how dangerous loyalty can be." Dangerous? Loyalty? To who? That phrase would later become the center of a storm, but that wasn't the only thing about Erika's private life insiders found concerning. Late-night meetings, secret phone calls, sudden disappearances from events without explanation, a private device she never let out of her sight, not even for minutes. According to two confirmed sources, Erika carried a second phone she claimed was for family emergencies. But that phone was used for far more than that: private conversations, hidden messages, and calls she insisted be kept off the books. One staffer recalled, she would step out of meetings the second that phone buzzed. No explanation, no details, just gone. Another insider claimed that Erika often scheduled personal meetings at odd hours, keeping them undocumented by TPUSA. These meetings were allegedly with individuals no one could identify, people who never signed in, never wore badges, and never appeared in official logs. No one thought much about it at first, until the leaked files exposed exactly who some of those individuals were. A donor's advisor, a PR strategist hired quietly off record, a private fixer connected to crisis management firms, and someone insiders still refuse to name publicly. But the most shocking part isn't who she met, it's what those meetings influenced. According to leaked emails and messages, certain TPUSA decisions, staff removals, event cancellations, sudden shifts in messaging aligned directly with Erika's private conversations. One whistleblower wrote, "She has influence she isn't supposed to have. Charlie trusted her blindly, and she used that trust to make decisions people assume he made." Another message included in the leak said, "She didn't like who he listened to, so she removed them." As these files circulated internally over the last week, panic spread. Staff began discussing old memories in new ways. People who once doubted the rumors suddenly felt validated. Donor circles quietly started pulling receipts from years back, connecting dots nobody realized were connected. One donor, in a private email that leaked yesterday, wrote, "There's a pattern here. And we missed it." But the part that stunned everyone came from Erika herself. In one of the leaked voice notes, one that spread across private Telegram channels like wildfire, Erika whispers, "Charlie didn't know half of what I handled." The tone wasn't sadness. It wasn't regret. It wasn't grief. It was pride. Almost like she believed she was protecting him from something, or controlling things for him, or controlling things for herself. Because the whistleblower behind these leaks didn't do this for revenge or attention. Their message to Candace made that clear. You need to understand what was happening before everything fell apart. Erika was living a double life, and TPUSA was caught in the middle. So what was the double life? What secrets was she keeping? And why did insiders feel compelled to expose everything now? Because the files show something far more explosive than anyone expected. Erika's private life didn't just influence TPUSA, it infiltrated it, manipulated it, and potentially changed the future of its leadership. And the insider who leaked it all? They claim this is only the beginning. The major conflict didn't erupt because of one leak. It erupted because the leaks exposed a pattern so alarming, so deeply embedded in TPUSA's structure, that even people who once defended Erika suddenly backed away in fear. The files revealed something insiders had quietly whispered for years. Erika wasn't just involved in TPUSA's internal decisions, she was influencing them in ways nobody knew. And the moment the first file dropped publicly, TPUSA's entire infrastructure went into lockdown mode. Phones were confiscated, Slack channels were frozen, internal chats moved to encrypted threads. A wave of panic rippled through staffers who suddenly realized every private message, Every backstage conversation, every moment they thought was off, had been part of something much bigger. But the real explosion didn't happen inside TPUSA headquarters. It happened at a private donor retreat in Arizona, a location known for quiet meetings, confidential discussions, and carefully curated political alliances. That retreat became the center of the chaos when 3 donors confronted TPUSA leadership, demanding answers to a question nobody expected. How much control did Erika actually have? Because the leaked files didn't just show her personal issues. They showed her fingerprints on decisions that should have never been hers to make. According to multiple attendees, TPUSA leadership tried to calm the room, but one donor slammed a folder onto the table and said, "Spare us the scripted answers. We've seen the recordings." That folder contained one of the most damaging leaks of all, a series of voice notes Erika sent to a private consultant discussing decisions she said she already handled days before those decisions were officially announced by TPUSA. It proved she wasn't influencing decisions. She was predicting them, or worse, directing them. And that's when the first major twist surfaced. One of the donors at the retreat, a high-profile businessman whose name circulates in political circles, quietly but powerfully revealed that he had been approached by an anonymous insider nearly 3 months ago with a warning. "Erika is making decisions Charlie didn't approve." He ignored it at the time. But the leak confirmed everything, and this donor had receipts of his own. He pulled out screenshots, private conversations with a former TPUSA staffer who wrote, "There is something happening internally. Erika is inserting herself into meetings Charlie didn't want her in. She is redirecting teams without approval." Another message said, "This isn't about TPUSA anymore. It's about control." That same staffer then mysteriously resigned weeks later. But the most damning message of all? She is removing people she feels threatened by. Removing? Threatened? On what authority? The room went silent. Because suddenly, everyone understood why so many key staffers had quietly left TPUSA in the past year. It wasn't turnover. It wasn't new direction. It wasn't restructuring. It was something darker. Someone at the meeting whispered, "Did Charlie know?" The donor answered, "That's the worst part." He tried confronting her. Silence. And then the second bombshell. The donor warned TPUSA leadership that if they didn't take immediate action, more leaks were coming. Not from outsiders. Not from journalists. From someone inside TPUSA. Someone who had been gathering evidence for months. Someone who said they were done being silent. Someone who had access to everything. A staffer responsible for internal documentation. A staffer who had access to private meeting notes. A staffer who saved copies of conversations others assumed were deleted. A staffer who wasn't leaking out of revenge, but out of fear. And their final message to the donor read, "If she finds out I'm the one exposing her, it won't end well for me." This changed everything. Because now the leaks weren't just exposing Erika. They were exposing a hidden power struggle inside TPUSA. A battle for control disguised as organizational chaos. But the biggest shock came from an unexpected source. Encrypted security logs from TPUSA's own event management system. These logs revealed the real heart of the conflict the moment everything began to unravel. 3 months before the leak, at a major TPUSA conference, Erika allegedly accessed a restricted backstage corridor using a badge that wasn't hers. Staffers thought it was an error. Some assumed she borrowed someone's badge. But the log showed something disturbing. That badge belonged to a staffer who wasn't even present at the event, and security footage confirmed it. There she was, walking into areas she had no authorization to enter, talking to people not listed on any event rosters. Holding a phone she kept turned face down the entire time. Later that night, key TPUSA decisions shifted abruptly. Speakers were rearranged. Panels were altered. One controversial segment one Charlie had personally approved was suddenly removed. And when staff asked why, they were told. Erika said it was for the best. Staff assumed Charlie approved it. But when confronted days later, he allegedly responded, "I never changed that segment," meaning Erika overrode him, behind his back. And that was just the beginning. Because a new file leaked, the one that changed everything. A private audio recording captured inside Erika's home office. In the audio, Erika can be heard telling someone, "I can't let them reverse the decision. You know what will happen if they do." The reply, a male voice, "They won't. Not if you keep control of him." Keep control of who? Charlie? Someone else? Nobody knew. But everyone had suspicions. And the worst part? That voice didn't belong to Charlie or any staffer. It belonged to the same unidentified man Erika had been meeting privately for months, the man from the earlier leaks. A man who wasn't part of TPUSA. A man who wasn't registered as a consultant. A man who appeared at events with no credentials. And in the leaked files, someone wrote, "We call him the Ghost." No one knows who he is, but Erika does. TPUSA leadership demanded answers. Who was this man? Why did he have access to Erika? Why did she trust him more than TPUSA staff? And why was he guiding her decisions? The biggest twist came when a former employee dropped another file, a chat log showing Erika forwarding internal TPUSA documents before Charlie saw them to someone saved as E in her second phone. These documents included budget plans, speaker lists, strategy notes, confidential reports, staff evaluations, information that shouldn't leave the building. Messages showed Erika saying, "Read this before they make any moves." The reply, "Good. Keep pushing them in the direction we discussed." We discussed? This meant Erika wasn't just making independent decisions, she was taking direction from someone else. And then the most devastating message surfaced. "Charlie is losing control. Make sure they trust you, not him." When this message leaked, TPUSA descended into full chaos. Because that meant the conflict inside TPUSA wasn't accidental, wasn't emotional, wasn't confusion during a stressful time. It was a coordinated takeover. And Erika wasn't the victim. She was a major player. But the twist nobody saw coming was the moment a new person stepped into the story. A former TPUSA executive who sent Candace a message saying, "The Ghost isn't who you think." He was closer to Erika than anyone realized. Candace asked, "Who is he?" The reply, "Someone with a past tied to the Kirk family long before TPUSA ever existed." And just like that, the conflict transformed into something deeper, darker, and far more personal than anyone imagined. Because the Ghost wasn't random. He wasn't a consultant. He wasn't an advisor. He was connected to Erika in ways that threatened everything TPUSA built and everything Charlie believed in. And the next section reveals exactly who he is, and why his involvement turns this scandal into something far more dangerous. The escalation didn't begin with a press release, a statement, or even another leak. It began with a single text message sent at 3:14 a.m. to Candace Owens' encrypted phone from a number she didn't recognize. The message read, "You're investigating the wrong people. The Ghost isn't who Erika met recently. He's someone who's been around her for years." Candace froze, because that shifted everything. Up until now, everyone believed the Ghost was a new figure, a recent influence, a recent threat, a recent manipulator infiltrating TPUSA. But this message suggested the opposite. The Ghost wasn't new. He was historical, embedded, deeply rooted. Candace replied instantly, "Who are you? What do you know?" No answer. Not for minutes. Not for hours. Instead, another file dropped into her inbox, a PDF of old financial records, dated long before Charlie's death, long before the public drama, long before Erika began asserting her strange influence inside TPUSA. On page 6, a name appeared next to a series of monthly consulting payments. Payments Erika personally approved, payments made to someone under an alias, payments labeled as family logistics. The name? Elias K. Candace almost dropped her phone. Because E in Erika's second phone wasn't a random contact or new partner in chaos. It was Elias Kirk, Charlie's estranged cousin. The Ghost was family. And suddenly, everything exploded. Because for the first time, the narrative made sense. Why Erika trusted him. Why she forwarded him internal documents. Why she met him secretly. Why she protected him from staff. Why she let him influence decisions Charlie never approved. Why she continued communicating privately even when Charlie asked her to stop. Why, she whispered, Loyalty can be dangerous. Elias didn't just appear out of nowhere. He had always been in the shadows. And according to the new leaks, he had a long, complicated history with Charlie. One insider, a former family friend, sent Candace a voice memo saying Charlie cut him off years ago, said he didn't trust him, said Elias always had hidden motives. Another message followed. Elias wanted power. Charlie refused to give him a role. Erika filled that gap. But the most disturbing revelation? Elias had allegedly approached Charlie multiple times with ideas for TPUSA influencer strategies, political alignment shifts, messaging tactics. Charlie rejected all of them. Yet somehow, those SAM strategies started appearing inside TPUSA after Erika began taking more interest in decisions. Meaning, while Charlie pushed him away, Erika pulled him in. But why? The next leak answered it. A video clip, grainy, shaky, clearly taken without permission, showing Elias and Erika arguing in a private parking garage. In the clip, Elias is heard saying, "I gave you a chance to fix this. Now they're all watching." Erika responds, "You said he would listen. You said he trusted you. You should have made sure he trusted you." Elias fires back. Silent tension. Aggressive breathing. Two people connected by a secret no one knew about. And then Erika says the line that sparked the entire firestorm. "We weren't supposed to get caught." Caught doing what? That question sent shockwaves through every group chat, every Telegram thread, every insider circle paying attention. But the answer arrived slower and darker than anyone expected. Another leak surfaced, this time from a former TPUSA executive who chose to remain anonymous, but whose information was so detailed, so specific, that even skeptics couldn't deny its authenticity. The executive wrote, Charlie confronted Erika 6 months before the drama. He told her Elias was manipulating her. He said Elias was using family ties to push his way into TPUSA. Erika defended him. That's when everything changed. Everything changed, including Charlie and Erika's relationship. Insiders began reporting unusual tension, closed-door arguments, sudden cancellations of joint appearances. Charlie requesting new boundaries? No. Erika overriding them. Elias appearing in places Charlie explicitly banned him from. But the most alarming report wasn't about their relationship. It was about TPUSA finances. Another leaked document revealed that Erika approved a private consulting stipend from a donor fund without TPUSA leadership signing off, and a portion of that stipend made its way into an account connected to Elias. Meaning, Erika used TPUSA resources to fund someone Charlie warned her to avoid. At this point, Candace's team wasn't just shocked, they were terrified. Because this wasn't personal drama anymore. This was organizational infiltration. And then came the real twist. A leaked audio file recorded inside Charlie's home office, the same office from the previous leak, captured Charlie telling someone, "I know you're meeting with him. I know he's trying to get inside TPUSA. I won't let either of you ruin what we built." The reply wasn't Elias. It wasn't a staffer. It was Erika. Her voice cracked, but not from sadness. From anger. "He's family. You don't get to erase him." Charlie snapped back. "He's using you. And then, if this keeps going, you're going to put everything at risk." Candace replayed that moment over and over. Because it wasn't just marital conflict. It wasn't just family dysfunction. It wasn't just organizational chaos. It was a war. A silent war inside TPUSA's highest ranks, one nobody saw until now. But the escalation didn't stop there. Once the leaks exposed Elias as the ghost, staffers who had been scared to speak suddenly came forward, dropping message after message. Elias advised her on staff firings. He told her what donors to trust. He pushed her to influence decisions behind Charlie's back. He encouraged her to isolate Charlie. He wanted to make Erika the most powerful force inside TPUSA. One message said he wanted control, and she let him have it. But the leak that broke the internet came from an ex-security contractor. In a confidential report now circulating everywhere, they claimed Elias had access to TPUSA headquarters using a visitor badge assigned to Erika. Access to everything. And in a note attached to the report, the security contractor wrote, We flagged it, nothing happened. Erika shut it down, meaning she protected him. Again. But the most terrifying leak came last. A photo, taken from a hidden camera, inside Erika's private second office, the one no staffer was allowed to enter. In the photo, Elias and Erika sit across from each other, papers spread between them, internal TPUSA folders, lists of staff names, event strategies, sensitive budget outlines. And in the corner of the photo is Charlie, standing in the doorway, watching them, not angry, not confused, not panicked, hurt, betrayed, devastated, a moment frozen in time, a moment that explains everything. And according to the insider who leaked the photo, that was the moment Charlie realized TPUSA was no longer his, it was hers and Elias's. This wasn't just drama. This wasn't just chaos. This wasn't just scandal. This was a takeover. And the consequences haven't even begun. Because now the entire world knows. Elias wasn't influencing Erika. Erika wasn't being manipulated. They were working together. And the reason behind their secret alliance is even darker than the leaks reveal. The moment Elias Kirk, Charlie's estranged cousin, Erika's secret advisor, and the mysterious ghost was exposed publicly, the internet split open like an active fault line. This wasn't just a scandal anymore. This was a civil war inside the conservative universe. And for the first time in TPUSA history, every layer of the organization, staff, donors, fans, influencers, executives, and external political allies erupted at the same time. Twitter turned into a battlefield. TikTok became a forensic crime lab. Reddit transformed into a digital courtroom. Telegram channels filled with theories, leaks, and encrypted voice files. The reaction was instant, violent, and global. Within 30 minutes, hashtags took over every trending list. Number: Who is Elias Kirk? Number: Erika and Elias. Number: TPUSA Secret Power. Number: Charlie warned us. Number: The ghost is real. Number: Erika Kirk exposed. Even neutral pages dedicated to politics, usually afraid to poke at internal conservative drama, couldn't resist. Their thumbnails changed from calm blue to screaming red in minutes as they pushed out videos titled, "TPUSA Meltdown, the cousin they hid from us. Erika's secret partner. Meet the ghost." Charlie's biggest warning ignored now, the truth is out. But the most shocking reactions came from people who personally knew the Kirk family. A former childhood friend of Charlie tweeted, "Elias always wanted what Charlie built. I'm not surprised at all." A distant family member posted, "This was a long time coming. People don't know what happened years ago." Fans immediately swarmed these posts, begging for details, demanding explanations, screenshotting every word before it could be deleted. And then Erika finally responded. Her Instagram story appeared like a siren in the night's stark white background, shaking handwritten font, "Leave my family alone." But she didn't deny anything. Not the meetings, not the financial transfers, not the secret office, not the influence, not the partnership, not Elias. Her silence said everything. Influencers who once defended her suddenly posted shaky, emotional videos. "Guys, I don't know what to say anymore. This is bad. Really bad. This is beyond drama. This is an organizational crisis. Why was Elias there? Why did she hide him? How far does this go?" Meanwhile, TPUSA quietly locked their comments across all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. Complete blackout. And if that wasn't suspicious enough, staffers noticed the internal employee portal suddenly went into maintenance mode. No one believed it was a coincidence. Inside TPUSA headquarters, the atmosphere was described as dark, tense, hushed, and unnervingly coordinated. According to one insider who DM'd Candace directly, executives were pulling people into private rooms every 5 minutes. No one knew who was next. People were crying. Some were texting family. It felt like a purge. And yet, amidst all the chaos, Elias himself remained silent. His accounts stayed deleted. His phone stayed off. His location remained unknown. And that's when celebrity commentators outside the conservative world jumped in. YouTubers, podcasters, gossip channels, drama streamers. Everyone wanted a piece of the eruption. One popular drama host said, "This is like watching a political Netflix thriller but happening in real time." Another added, "Erika wasn't a side character, she was running things behind the scenes." Even left-leaning commentators chimed in, some mockingly, some genuinely stunned. So the cousin was running TPUSA? How is this real? But the reaction that shook the internet the most came from Charlie's sister. Her first tweet simply said, "He warned us." The second tweet, posted 20 minutes later, changed everything. "I'm tired of being quiet. There's more coming. There's more coming." Two words that paralyzed the timeline. People immediately began analyzing her tone, timing, intention, punctuation, turning her posts into a virtual treasure map. Conspiracy forums exploded. Millions watched live streams titled, "What Does Charlie's Sister Know?" The family is speaking. Erika and Elias's next move exposed. Political donors began pulling receipts from years earlier. Screenshots of old conversations with Charlie resurfaced, with captions like, "Now it makes sense why he seemed stressed that year." A former TPUSA chapter leader wrote, "We always sensed something was off. None of us could prove it. Now we can." But what made everything worse was the leak that came next. Not from Candace, not from a staffer, not from an insider, but from an anonymous TPUSA executive. They wrote, "If the public knew the real reason Charlie cut ties with Elias years ago, this wouldn't be surprising." Suddenly, people weren't just asking, "What did Erika do? Why did Elias infiltrate TPUSA? How much influence did they have?" Now the questions were darker. What happened in the Kirk family that they hid for years? What did Charlie and Elias fight about? Why did Charlie ban him from TPUSA originally? What changed? Why did Erika take Elias's side? Was this planned from the start? And the theories were spiraling out of control, millions of people forming millions of narratives. But then, something happened that silenced everyone. A screenshot leaked showing an email allegedly written by Charlie himself, sent months before his death. The final line of that email? "If Elias gets into TPUSA, everything collapses." That's when the world realized this wasn't just drama. This was prophecy, and it was happening right now. But the final twist, the one that flips this entire scandal upside down, comes in the next section. And it's something even Candace wasn't prepared for. The final twist didn't arrive through a leak, a screenshot, a voice memo, or a family statement. It came from a single file, a file so dangerous, so explosive, that the anonymous insider who sent it to Candace wrote only 3 words in the email body: "Do not wait." Attached was a zip folder labeled, "The Truth About Elias. Confidential." Candace opened the folder expecting more messages, maybe more recordings, maybe more financial records, but this was different. This file wasn't just evidence. It wasn't just context. It wasn't just proof of influence. It was a pattern, a timeline, a chilling, methodical sequence of events proving that Elias's connection to Erika was not random, not sudden, not emotional. It was strategic, pre-planned, and years in the making. The first document inside was a handwritten letter scanned, dated over a decade ago, written by someone in the Kirk family. The handwriting was shaky, uneven, possibly written during a stressful moment. The letter mentioned 2 young names, Charlie and Elias. The writer warned, "There is something wrong. I worry one of them will grow into a man with too much influence and too little conscience. Please watch carefully who he becomes." The name wasn't specified, but as Candace read the next lines, the implication became horrifyingly clear. He's brilliant, but he knows how to manipulate. He tests boundaries. He charms and intimidates in the same breath. His loyalty shifts, depending on who gives him control. This wasn't a description of Charlie. It was Elias. Candace closed the letter, stunned, but then she saw the next file. A list of every time Elias inserted himself into the Kirk family business years before TPUSA existed. The timeline showed Elias pushing to join business projects, Elias requesting access to financial accounts, Elias trying to influence public-facing decisions, and finally, Elias's growing resentment every time Charlie succeeded at something he couldn't infiltrate. Then came the document that shattered everything. A photo old, grainy, but clear enough to identify. It showed young Charlie in a heated argument with Elias. The caption underneath, written later by a family member, read, "This was the day Charlie told him to stay away forever." But here's where the twist becomes devastating. In the next file was an audio confession, a recorded conversation between a former TPUSA executive and a family member who wanted this buried. In the recording, the family member says, "Charlie found something out years ago, something about Elias, something that could ruin him permanently." The executive asks, "What did he find?" The family member hesitates, voice trembling. He found out Elias used family connections to gain influence in political spaces. He wasn't just ambitious, he was dangerous. Dangerous. Candace paused the audio. Dangerous enough that Charlie never spoke to him again. Dangerous enough that Charlie banned him from TPUSA. Dangerous enough that Charlie warned friends and donors privately. Never let Elias near what we're building. So how did Elias get in? The answer came in the next file. A chat log between Erika and a close friend from years ago. The message from Erika read, "He understands me. Charlie doesn't get how hard this life is." The friend responded, "Be careful. Your family warned you about him." Erika wrote, "They're wrong about him. He sees my value." Candace stared at the screen. This wasn't Elias infiltrating TPUSA from the outside. This was Erika opening the door. And then the final file appeared, the one that flipped everything upside down. A video clip, only 10 seconds long, shot in Charlie's home office, recorded months before the chaos. In the video, Charlie is sitting at his desk, exhausted, overwhelmed. He looks directly into the camera, his voice barely above a whisper. "If anything ever happens to me, look at them, both of them, together, them, together, not just Elias. Not just Erika, both." Candace played it 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. By the 15th replay, she understood the unthinkable truth. Charlie didn't see Erika as a victim manipulated by Elias. He saw Erika and Elias as a unit, a pair, a partnership, a threat, a silent alliance forming behind his back, one that didn't just violate trust, but jeopardized everything he built, everything he believed in, everything he stood for. And that alliance was still alive, still operating, still hiding, still fighting to protect whatever secret connected them. But the twist didn't stop with the video. The insider who sent the files wrote one final message. Charlie wrote a second letter he never sent. That letter names the real reason Elias wanted into TPUSA. And where that letter is, you already know. Candace froze. What did that mean? Where was the letter? Why did the insider think she already knew? And then it hit her. The second draft. The unfinished file Charlie typed but never completed. The one Candace had been searching for since the beginning. The letter wasn't missing. It wasn't lost. It wasn't erased. It was hidden somewhere. Charlie knew Erika and Elias would never look. And now, Candace had to find it before they did. Because whatever was inside that letter was the key to everything. And someone out there is desperately trying to keep it buried. And now that you've seen the truth, not the polished press statements, not the carefully crafted public smiles, not the staged photos or controlled narratives, but the real truth behind Erika, Elias, TPUSA's inner collapse, and the handwritten warnings Charlie left behind, you already know. This story is not over. If anything, this is the moment everything truly begins. Because somewhere out there, hidden in a place only Charlie would have chosen, is the second letter. The letter that explains why he feared Elias, why he confronted Erika, why he warned friends, donors, and family members, why he kept secrets even from his closest allies, and why he looked into a camera and whispered, "Look at them, both of them, and you better believe this. Elias is still hiding, Erika is still silent, TPUSA is still panicked, and insiders are still leaking things they swore they'd take to the grave." So here's what I need from you right now. Smash that like button if you want the next wave of leaks, documents, audio files, insider messages, and receipts that reveal the full story behind Erika and Elias's hidden alliance. Subscribe to the channel because this investigation is growing faster than anyone expected, and we're dropping updates the moment new files surface. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next chapter. Trust me, The people trying to bury this story are counting on silence, confusion, and misdirection. Comment below and tell me your theory. What do you think Charlie discovered about Elias? Why did Erika protect him so fiercely? Were they planning something inside TPUSA or outside it? And what do you think is written in Charlie's missing second letter? Your comments force this story into the spotlight. Your questions make it impossible for anyone to bury the truth. And your engagement is the only thing keeping this investigation alive. Because the next episode is about to expose a level of betrayal so deep, so twisted, so calculated, that even Candace wasn't prepared for it. Stay locked in. The truth is coming.